Across the river from downtown Cincinnati, in Covington, Kentucky's main Strauss, and from the beautiful Village Sight Sound and Stage, it's Fret Buzz. Featuring Mike Reeder. William Gilmore Weber. And the lovely Janelle Stevens as the barista. Ladies and gentlemen, your host, Mike Reeder.
Hello and welcome to Fret Buzz. Got some great friends with me today.
Morning.
Really excited to have you guys on the show. I appreciate it so much.
Thanks for having us.
Top of the morning, mi amigos.
Yeah.
I feel stupid not wearing my cowboy shirt, but oh well.
I should have given you the memo, yeah.
Right, yeah, I didn't get the memo.
Well, it would have been ironic if we all would have had the same shirt.
Yeah.
Worked out too well.
Where'd you get yours?
Well, today we have Dallas Moore,
All right.
Jim Peltz, Nathan Hickey, and Danny Frazier for episode 9 of Fret Buzz.
All right.
Yeah.
9.
First all-dude show, I believe.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a great even number, 9. So.
Yeah. And we have William Weber as my co-host and Janelle Stevens as the barista today.
Good morning.
Yeah. What do you guys think about this coffee, man? It's good stuff.
Coffee's great.
Best.
Yeah. Coffee from Branch Hill.
I
It's
need
got to be
it.
wired. Cheers.
They set us up
They do set us up.
big time.
Yeah, it's good stuff. And we have some cool vintage guitars from Mike's Music.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Eldon asked me if I wanted to play the Falcon earlier. I said, no, thank you. I like looking at it. I'll listen to one of you guys play.
It's a big guitar for sure. Yeah.
Those are
We're gonna,
awesome.
let Danny take
They
that
put
one.
the biggest guitar on the smallest guy. I'll be like little Jimmy Dickens over here.
Hey, I've had it up to here with little Jimmy Dickens.
That's funny. I've never heard that one. That's good.
So who had a gig last night? Anybody?
I did.
All right. Where'd you guys play?
Down in Vanceburg, Kentucky at the Riverbend, and with Rye Davis and Brandon Martin.
Oh,
and,
right on.
Cool.
It was good. It was a sold out show. And,
Foot stomping,
it
hoot
was real
nanny.
good.
Well,
I
It was
never
the
get a Saturday night off.
Second show of this year.
Wow.
Second show?
Yeah.
Yes, we had our first show of the year Friday night in Columbus at Woodlands with the Hell Boys, our buddies.
Yeah.
But when I played on New Year's Eve, it was 316 shows that I played last year.
Wow, that's hardcore, man.
And then, so now we started
Slowing up.
over, and last night was 2.
All right.
Wow. Well, you're the cheap trick of Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Yeah, those guys are buddies of mine. They told me one year that they played like 280 shows in 1 year or something like that,
Yeah.
which is crazy for a
lot.
big giant band, you know?
Yeah.
So cool. Well, we appreciate you making it because
Oh,
that
man.
means that you probably got very little sleep, right?
Yeah, well, that's why we got this coffee.
That's right.
It's best not to taper off.
Keep it going. Keep it rolling.
Keep them coming. What'd you do this weekend, man? Your foot's back.
My foot is
Yeah.
back, yeah. I went to have another x-ray on Friday, and huge screw in it. I don't know how they put that thing in there.
Oh.
But
Well,
they put
they
it in.
found that it was already there? Or what?
Right, I stepped on it, I guess. And that was part of the issue.
Is that what happened to your shoe? You got a hole right there. Is,
Oh, man,
is that where
these
they put the
these are
screw
my
in right there?
kickers, man. I love it. But I have hammer toe, unfortunately. So
Oh, really?
That's why I dance sideways.
I don't even know what that is. What is hammer?
Your toes like go sideways, and one will go over the other eventually. So
Screws in a hammer.
That'll
in
be
your
like,
boot.
yeah.
Got a whole toolbox in your boot.
Is
I'll
it
have
from
like a-
wearing those shoes?
That's what you would think. What it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'll have like a bionic foot eventually, I think. You know. So.
Cool.
Go be a kicker for the Bengals.
Right. And
Yeah.
maybe do a little
They
better.
need you.
I think he could
Yeah,
already
yeah.
do that.
What'd you do?
What did I do? I prepped for the show and got ready for our big trip. We're taking a big trip out west.
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, we're going to leave on Tuesday, and we're going to go all the way to San Francisco, the northern route, like through Denver and Kansas
To
City.
the mountains where it's nice and snowy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we're going to do the...
Probably be the Donner Party eating each other.
Yeah, that'll be on the news for sure.
Yeah, try not to do it.
Yeah,
You
no-
know my foot. I won't use it anyway. So.
I was out in San Fran a couple months ago.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I love it out there, man.
Yeah.
So it'll be like a combo guitar pickers Fret Buzz. kind
Yeah,
of
we're going to
thing?
shoot on the way and hopefully find some guitars and do the San Francisco guitar show.
Yeah.
And then I have some meetings with some people that I deal with that
That's where I'm
week.
outside,
And then LA show the next weekend.
Nice.
And then head down to San Diego to drop some gear off to my buddy Eric Wilson from Sublime. He bought some stuff. I'm taking to his house and I'm going to stay there for a couple days.
Nothing like
Well, you're
door-to-door
darn
service
good.
from Mike's
Yeah.
Music.
Down to San Diego and dropping some gear off.
Yeah.
I think that buddy's that good.
And then drive back 40. So we're touring the United States.
You're not selling guitars.
Yeah.
That's probably that's right.
When the guitars cost that much, you can deliver.
Is it
You can
that
deliver.
Falcon?
I already have all the Cracker Barrels mapped out.
We got enough profit margin in this guitar that we can
Uncle
actually
Herschel,
take a tour
man,
out.
and every town.
Yeah.
Cracker Barrels and coffee shops.
Right.
Yeah.
Cracker Barrel coffee shops, pawn shops, and music stores.
That's the life you lead.
Roll in.
Yeah. In bed by 10, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, hopefully we'll find some cool stuff and bring it back for the buzz.
sure you
Some
will.
cool
That
guitars.
sounds like a blast.
Yeah.
Love
What,
to do
500 miles to Memphis has been doing good lately, I noticed.
Yeah,
guys-
we're taking a little hiatus here in the winter months, a little slowing down the shows. Played a lot last year. So
We had the lovely Veronica.
Oh, yeah, we saw
Really?
Veronica
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
on your Fret Buzz comments,
yeah.
or Fretboard
yeah.
concert.
Yeah, I've said that a couple of times. Yeah, she's great. That's one of
That
our
just
good
happened,
friends.
right?
A couple weeks ago, yeah.
Yeah.
A couple weeks ago.
She is a
great.
hoot.
She is.
She is so
a
good.
hoot. She came up on stage to sing Christmas, Baby Please Come Home, and she jumps up there and jumps in front of my mic. I was like, what are you doing? Go over to the center. Take Ryan's mic. You're singing the song. Go over there to the center stage. Very sweet girl.
Yeah, she's got the skirt, though, so, give her the...
Well, Ryan's got a skirt, too, but he didn't wear it.
You guys had a gig together, too, right? Didn't you last weekend?
Yeah, Northside, it was just a little throw together. Dusty, who was on our second show, he had to cancel out, so I played bass 6 and Forrest did his Telecaster and Howlin' Wolf impression, and yeah, it was cool, And we had Veronica come in and
Forrest Horn from the Mud Pies.
from the Mud Pies. Yep.
Yeah.
Great singer.
Yeah, he's really
All
good.
right guy, but
So did Veronica play with you guys, or like?
yeah, she did just a little solo thing before and got the crowd riled up for them to leave when we played.
Well, that's cool. Sorry I missed that.
Yeah, Mark was there, so
Really? Wow.
yeah. Yeah,
Did you teach him a few
things? No, I asked for lessons, so when I get back, I guess. So
Yeah. Well, I haven't seen you guys in a long time, man. Chuck's still hitting it hard with you guys, right?
Yeah. This year, we've been playing together for 24 years.
Wow.
it's like a marriage.
Oh, lucky
Chuck's is the best.
Yeah.
we've
Probably
been-
better than some marriages.
That lasted a lot.
Wow.
I
We
love
figured
it.
nobody else would have us, so we're best to stick together.
Jim, what have you been up to, man? I know we had the last time I saw you guys is when we played at
Latitudes, yeah.
together, yeah.
Busy as hell. We've got that Allman Brothers project, so I've been pushing that
I heard
real
that's
hard.
great, man.
We're doing what we can with it.
Yeah.
It's good. It's
What's that called?
Don't hate me. It's the almond butter.
That's what I thought.
No, I
All
like
right.
that.
I
Right.
knew that. I wanted you to say that.
Are you guys gonna try to
you
play
on the
the
spot.
I
Ludlow
love that.
where
I
they
think it's great.
Ludlow Garage?
That's a thing we'd like to do. I know
Yeah.
they have a band that comes in and actually doing
Okay.
the same thing, but
Yeah.
we're going to push that. Last year was our first year, and just proof of concept, right? Is
Yeah,
this going to
yeah.
work? And it seems like it's gonna, so we're pushing hard
I
this
do
year.
love that.
Are
name.
you doing
That's-
Dickie's
that's
parts?
clever.
Yeah.
Doesn't he kind of look like
He does.
As
have-
long as you don't ride a motorcycle to the gig.
Yeah, there's
you're-
a
Yeah.
passing
Dickie Betts in it for
resemblance.
sure.
It works.
Definitely, yeah.
It works, yeah.
I ended up on vocals too, which wasn't my first choice. But yeah, my goal was just to do Dickie stuff.
Oh, God. God bless you,
I
man. A
love
real
Dickie
player.
Betts.
The Allman Brothers recorded. It's a famous record of theirs, live at Ludlow Garage.
Yeah, that's killer. It's
Yeah,
great stuff.
it's
We've been
awesome,
doing the
man.
research and
You should react. You should just do the whole album, man. Just play that.
we've thought about it. There's a point, where it's like, where is this
A
theater?
little bit too on the nose.
You know what I mean? Where
Yeah.
we just want to be like
Yeah.
best guys I know, playing the music the best way we can without trying to turn it
Yeah.
into Beatlemania. But
Almond Butter Mania.
yeah, little throwback to all that where we can.
That's cool.
Tribute bands are making all the money right
That's
now.
true.
They are.
Yeah.
They're like,
I was playing with another band, Root Cellar Extract. Been keeping busy. We had a gig down in Kentucky last summer, and we ended up getting bumped. We were opening for a band coming in from out of town, and because of the weather, they bumped us. So it was a Leonard Skinner tribute band playing in a parking lot. They made $20,000.
Oh, sure, man.
Yeah.
That's better than Skinner does.
So I'm saying, these are stories I've been hearing about this.
Yeah.
I'm like, gee.
Oh, you know, I was saying I was going to my friend Eric sitting in Sublime. There's a band, it's a cover band of Sublime that sells out Bogarts.
Yeah.
I think they're called like Big Fish.
I
or
think they
something.
came through not too long ago. They were
it's
here
like-
this year. Yeah.
You know your band's big when the cover band of your
Yes,
band
they
sells out.
And you know your band's in trouble if the cover band outsells you.
Yeah, right. Does more merch. You know, yeah. That's crazy.
And Danny, I know you just did an album, right?
I did. I just
Yeah.
had a great time working with Kenny Vaughn and a bunch of great musicians down in Nashville.
Yeah.
Cool.
And
Kenny used to come to the store. Well, he still does.
yeah, he
Come to
said
the
he's a
store all
big
the time.
fan. Yeah, he loves
Yeah.
your store.
Super nice dude,
Thinks the
man.
world of you. Yeah,
He's great.
he's like, it's weird because he's been one of my musical heroes since about, I think, 91. I saw him with Rodney Crowd. Remember when we used to have Chili Fest?
Yeah.
When people still come out to hear live music on it. Yeah. And I saw him with Rodney, and I was like, he had the pants rolled up and the white socks and the glass, and I was like, looking at this guy going, who's this character? And then he started playing. I was like, whoa. But anyways, it's weird because now we've become really good friends, and it's like, it's still bizarre when you're having lunch with him or dinner and talking to Kenny Vaughn, and he's telling me stories about, seeing the Doors when he was 14. He's from Colorado, actually, up there.
Oh, really?
Right, 20 miles outside of Denver. And then he's telling me about seeing Cream twice back in the day, and bringing Eric Clapton a Coca-Cola when he's like a teenager, backstage. Saw Hendrix 3 times. I'm like, so those, yeah.
Well, that's
You don't
cool,
meet
man.
many people that can tell you those stories.
Right.
You know
They
what I mean?
remember 'em.
firsthand.
Yeah.
Well, I got to say, man, I really look forward to listening. I appreciate you bringing
Thank
me
you.
a CD.
Yeah, I
and
appreciate it, man. I think it turned out real good.
We'll
It's-
listen to it on the road, and
Yeah.
we'll be your
yeah.
What's the name of the record?
Nobody knows where I am.
Yeah.
Title track.
Well, that'll be our theme for the.
You guys are lost in the middle of the desert.
Yeah, right.
Google Maps is like
Play that
no
song.
reception.
Yeah.
Well, with that, we're going to move on to the songs.
Cool.
Really look forward to it. We'll be right back with Nathan.
Yep.
And he was going to be sitting there semi-nude. Like he came straight from the shower. As we have a gig coming up, right?
Yes, October
Halloween.
25th, my birthday. So.
That'd be like a birthday suit. No.
That would be a show right there.
Especially because you're so exposed.
Yeah, no nude shots. Nobody wants to see that.
It's really scary, isn't it?
Thank you.
I love it.
Release my chakras.
It's chocolate and all.
Does your heart still pound?
You play with sound holes a lot, though.
I do. Yeah, send me something to chew on here.
Well, it's like
He's trying to trap.
Yeah, it's a trap.
We're gonna get reader.
Billy, where did you find this guy?
I have no idea.
I'm on the wrong side of the glass.
It's not the Ukraine. It's Ukraine.
I think we might be too scary for them.
Yeah.
I'm kind of a bit spooky.
Yeah, I just want a little spit and vinegar.
I'm sick of you.
But you have the concept of the song usually, or sometimes.
Or the flow, or like.
Not
just,
really.
Using the F word, that's a good song.
We're back on the buzz.
Hey.
Yeah, Nathan's about to play us a great song.
I might need more coffee eventually. though,
Coffee,
just
yeah.
as long as it's brewing. So.
Yeah, what coffee do we have, Janelle? What is this?
Today's brew from Branch Hill Coffee is Three Amigos. It's a blend of Central and South American coffee beans. It's a smooth, mild roast. It's excellent as a hot coffee or great iced.
Good.
What do you guys think?
I think it's great.
It's rich.
Fantastic.
It is rich.
Rich
A
and
little
thick.
pep in your step.
Yeah.
One
Hell
cup
yeah.
got me.
Got your buzzer.
I'm on
I'm awake.
cup 2. I need about 3 more before I get
Yeah.
pulled up here.
Yeah, it's
If
robust.
I drink another cup, I'll be playing bluegrass.
That's not nothing wrong with that. That's nothing wrong with that at all. Yeah.
That's what I
We
was
would like to see that. Janelle, keep them coming. We want to see them.
There'll be a lot of G runs going on.
Froggy comes to court.
What'd you say?
Froggy comes to court.
Froggy comes to court. Yeah. Well, Nathan, what are you going to play us, brother?
I'm going to play a song that I've never performed in front of anybody before.
Yeah,
Exclusive. Yes.
I've got, I don't know, I've got a streak about doing this kind of thing and trying to, I don't know if I'm challenging myself or punishing myself, but I don't get a chance to play this one at all ever, but just seemed like kind of a good setting to do it.
Cool.
It is not Froggy Comes a Courtin' though. We're gonna keep it mellow. I'm gonna try to keep it mellow because I've been drinking all that coffee, so that'll be the challenge. Song called Vengeance.
So in 500 Miles to Memphis, how does the songwriting go? You guys have so many talented people in the band.
Ryan he does the lion's share of the writing. Him and Noah did write on, I'm not sure exactly how many they co-wrote on the last record, but it was a couple of them. And to great results, they did. I know The River was one of them that they co-wrote together and stuff. But for the most part, it's Ryan's kind of.
So they send you guys demos and say, figure these out, or you get together and say, here's basic concepts, put your flavor to it, and
get the dance moves down and stuff.
Yeah, we gotta get the dance moves down. I hate to be kind of a want, but I joined the band when they were on the last couple of days of recording their last record. You're not really asking the right guy for how the whole process goes.
That's fine.
I'll see you the next time around.
Yeah,
you can just make it up then.
Yeah, I thought maybe I'll just wing.
One of my favorite players is in your band, David Rhodes Brown.
Yeah,
he's a institution.
My favorite slide player.
He's a legend. It's an honor to share a stage with Dave.
That's cool.
It really is. I've been watching him since a lot of his Sudsy Malones back in
the
day.
Yeah.
And dollar bills and
bills,
I get a kick out of being in a band with him. I get a kick out of being in a van with him.
And even though he sits down, he's still taller than everybody else.
He is. We played a show a couple of weeks ago, and the girl in the audience said, "Oh, come on, he's just regular height." And everybody was like, "What? He's like 7 feet tall."
David did a song here, and he was recording up there, and I swear to you, he was as tall as me when he was sitting down.
Oh yeah. He's a big man.
Deep voice too.
He did. They did a great song that they're gonna release. It's gonna be awesome. The Warsaw Falcons.
Oh, was that the thing me and Ryan came in and did the background stuff on?
Yeah, I was there too.
Yeah, it just keeps getting layers.
Just keeps getting layered.
Yeah.
He did that one night over at Motor Pub, and
he played that song.
When we were doing
it's like an old Irish drinking tune.
Yeah.
Right. Oh yeah.
And he came out swinging with that thing.
Did he get the crowd saying? Oh yeah, I'm sure.
It was instantaneous. Yeah. So the song does what he's intending it to do.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And it's hard to write like a song like that. I think
it would be, but it didn't seem to.
I don't know. Dallas writes them all like that all the time.
Crowd pumper.
What's the secret? What's the secret, Dallas?
Just kind of pull them out of the air.
Play Irish bars, I would think.
Right? Wait a minute, man. Can't wait to hear it.
Okay. Well, I can't wait to play it.
Right on.
I've seen the world through the windshield of my car. Follow my muse, she didn't get me very far. And I know I'll be in danger if I wonder where you are. I've tasted dreams and I've had those perfect nights. Didn't believe I'm on the best day of my life. Suspected certain loss. Now I know that you were right. So there we are. So far. So I take my vengeance where I can find it. If my light shines, I don't hide it. It's alright to carry on. In the morning I'll be gone. Gone. You know it was treason. I ain't got no reason. With it and gone. Never know where I belong. No. your shadow in your army satellite. I know my enemies are hoping for a fight, and the only ones who ever hoped that I would see the light have me gone, have me gone. So I keep my vengeance where I can find it, and if my light shines, I don't mind it. 'Cause I've been right and I've been wrong. Ain't no sin to carry on. Carry on. So I take my vengeance where I can find it. When my light shines, I don't hide it. 'Cause it don't mean you weren't wrong. Without a reason we all fall. And to all those who ever hope, yeah, to all those who ever hope, I go. I take my vengeance, I keep my vengeance, I take my vengeance.
Yeah.
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 Damn good.
Woo! Here you go. Right on.
Throw that thing to the
Well, that is probably first time this guitar has ever had anything like that played on it.
Oh yeah?
Because, you know, this guitar I got from a guy who wrote Santa Claus is Coming to Town.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, actually
You can
through
afford it.
another guy.
That's crazy.
So
Obviously
yeah,
you
I'm
had to
sure there was
sell
no
it, though.
songs about vengeance played on this guitar before.
They're
Yeah.
kind of the same, you know, Santa Claus.
Yeah. Well, that's cool, man. So tell me, besides 500 miles to Memphis, what other stuff that you have got going on? I mean, do you have solo records and stuff?
I started a band 10 years ago called Bootleg Rider, which Elton, wherever Elton's at, Elton played with us.
Yeah, he's hiding.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy.
He's on Facebook.
And I've done that off and on over the last decade. 500 has taken the last 18 months of my life primarily.
Gotcha.
So,
So does the other band have songs that are mainly, you know, songs that you wrote and?
yeah, it's my vehicle for all my original
Okay.
stuff. So yeah.
Right on.
Yep.
Same type of vehicle, kind of.
Man, I have really eclectic tastes,
Yeah.
and just depending on my mood,
Mhm.
I write just whatever I'm feeling. And I love everything, so I write everything, and never really saw much need to hone in on one specific genre
That's
or
cool.
style.
Yeah.
So
Well, I like that, like pre-chorus or whatever it was, where you
Double
had that, like
time.
thumb,
Yeah.
double time. The song was like slap bass. Or
yeah,
something.
yeah,
That was cool.
In hindsight, maybe I shouldn't have done a song I've never done before.
No, you did
it was-
great. I mean,
yeah,
that was a
it's fun.
difficult song. I appreciate you making the effort. You know,
Hey, you just gotta swing for the
that
fences.
wasn't 3 chords, you know, straight ahead.
No, it was 4 chords straight ahead.
And it had a lot of lyric.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of
Yeah,
timing
a lot of
stuff
lyric.
going on.
Yeah, I know.
Minor third to the E is always
Yeah.
brings it in.
Well, you could definitely hear the rhythm drummerness in you.
Yeah,
There was
that'll come out if I'm
Yeah.
playing by myself.
Well, that was
typically.
cool, man. What did you think
Thanks,
about the guitar?
I love that guitar. Can I have it?
Yeah.
Sweet. You heard it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
What it is, it's a 1965 D35.
Is it 65? Okay.
Yeah, and it's Brazilian rosewood. It's actually really pretty Brazilian
Gorgeous
rosewood.
Brazilian, yeah.
Especially the sides are really, really nice. And you know, Martin guitars, a lot of times D28s are the most popular model because they
Right.
became famous, you know, bluegrass, you know, pickers dig in them and they're bright, but I love 35s. Because 35s, you know, generally have this really kind of Gibson-esque kind of, hear that low end?
They got, I was gonna say, they got more bass usually, don't they?
Yeah, they usually
'Cause
got
the-
more bottom end.
The bracing's thinner or something on the back.
But the top is still comes through pretty good.
I'm not sure
No,
what
that's a huge-
causes that, but in general, they do have that kind of.
Yeah.
So
that's a huge
I'm a
sound
Gibson guy, so
guitar.
I love 35s.
Yeah.
This is the cleanest one that I've ever owned, and it's the first year for a D35.
And they started making those to reuse so they wasn't wasting so much of the Brazilian wood.
That's
right?
speculation, but probably.
well, that's what I've
probably
always
because
heard,
this
yeah.
would be the last of the Brazilian. They phase it out in the 69. You know, a lot of these have, you know, towards the end of these guitars, towards 69, they might only have one piece of brilliance.
Oh, is that right? I didn't know that.
You know, all of it isn't. But yeah, man, this was a pretty guitar, and it walked in a guitar show, and I bought it from the widow. And
I would just think that Santa Claus coming to town was like written on a, you know,
ukulele,
Gibson, you know, or something like that. So.
yeah, well,
Sounds
you would
very
think.
Gibson-esque.
I can't. The guy's name is like Haven Gillespie or something.
Oh,
like that.
yeah, Haven Gillespie.
Yeah, well,
J. Haven Gillespie, something like that.
Well, you actually knew the guy wrote
I
that?
played some Christmas songs.
Yeah, that's impressive, actually.
He was from around here, right?
Yeah,
Is
exactly.
that right?
Really?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
you can have one Christmas hit and pretty much live on it. If you know, if
Oh,
it's a
yeah.
big one like
No,
that.
that's
I
true.
brought this.
That's
I
true,
bought it
man.
from his wife at the Cincinnati Guitar Show.
Well, I keep saying somebody's got to write a new birthday song because you can't like sing "Happy Birthday" anymore in restaurants. I don't know if
is
anybody
that
knew
right?
that.
I haven't heard
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
You can now.
Oh, you
Wait,
can
what?
now?
Yeah, there was for the longest time. That's
Yeah.
why you'd go into
Chuck E. Cheese.
right, yeah, and they'd have their own birthday song.
Right.
Are you kidding me?
Are you guys making this up?
No,
No,
because
no,
of copyright. It was on, like written by
Two old
sisters.
ladies or-
Yeah,
yeah,
something.
yeah.
I would be
But I
darned.
think that's gone into public domain. So
I mean,
Okay.
you could if you paid for it, right?
yes, but who's gonna?
Yeah, right.
We all sang it anyway.
It's two mad
But I
old
think
ladies
legally you can
kick
do
in
it
the
now.
door. Somebody in Chuck E. Cheese singing "Happy
You're
Birthday."
at-
Here they come.
you're at your
after
house.
you.
That's why they always have those made up
Birthday
songs.
police.
Yeah,
That's why they always have the made up birthday songs.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
With hand
fascinating. I never knew
clapping.
that.
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Well, anyway, that's the story of the guitar. The early ones have tortoise pick guards. They go to black guards, I think, in '67. You know, 35s, they have different binding than a 28. And they obviously have the three-piece back, which is the main feature of a 35.
It's got a very
Yeah.
clear sound.
Yeah, it's it
Yeah.
still has the Martin-esque kind of ringy.
But for a Martin, that's very.
It's a cannon.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
huge
is.
sounding guitar.
I didn't even change the strings, man. These are the
Oh, wow.
strings I got it with.
Oh wow!
I mean, you know, I haven't had it real long, and I haven't played it very much, but
I like the tortoise pickguard too. It's the right amount of tortoise shell.
Yeah, it
coming
is
through.
pretty, yeah.
It's kind of mellow.
And it's not phasing out yet.
you know, the guys from this generation, I buy a lot of guitars from, and more often than not, their guitars are so immaculate. Sure. And you know, it's not like they're not players, but I don't know that it seems like these guys just took care of stuff better than we do. It's amazing to me, you know. It's like look at this guitar. I mean, if this was my guitar and I used it, this wouldn't last a week like this. You know what I'm saying?
I wonder if some of it's because now that relic guitars are so popular, people that have new ones that are perfect, they don't care. You know, we're not as
I think
precious.
it's also a generational thing.
It is
like
a
you were saying,
generational.
you know what I mean? Like you may not have money for 5 guitars, but
Right.
you got one good one and you're
Right.
taking care
And
of
you
it.
have really bad technique or something like that. Just
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these
scraping
guys were born in Depression era, you know, and went through World War II and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. And it's like,
Yeah,
you
they
know,
value their stuff.
saved
Back when they polished
and
their
all that
shoes
kind of
still.
stuff.
Right, exactly.
Well, I kind of tried today.
Family investment.
It was like buying a
You know,
car for them or
yeah,
something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It's
I
a
mean,
big deal.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I do think there's a lot to be said for the generational thing because, I mean, you know, I think that we crave like authenticity. We crave like something that's like, that's why we buy jeans with tears and guitars that are aged, whereas they actually lived that stuff.
We're authentic.
You know what I mean?
yeah.
You know, they wanted immaculate stuff. Well, it's
Yeah.
just my 2 cents anyway.
They had one pair of jeans, so they took really good care of it.
Right, exactly, yeah.
For the whole family to wear.
Thanks for letting me play that, Mike.
Really enjoyed it, man.
Cool.
Yeah,
Great
Nate,
song.
good
Thank
song,
you very
yeah.
much.
Nice.
Shout out.
And to me, this is just like a deco masterpiece, you know, made in the 30s, just the top of the line of handcrafted guitars. So I talked Elliot out of it. And then years passed. I kept the guitar. It was candy apple red with a matching headstock. And nobody really knows if they just like did a batch of these or if people ordered them. If you're an Eric Clapton fan, you probably saw him play a Summers Telly like this with a Stratocaster neck on it. I got about halfway home and he called me and said, I'm going to sell it to you. So I drove all the way back to Philly after a long week of guitar show. I collect Pelham Blue guitars, and this is one of the rare models. You see Pelham Blue in a lot of guitars. Not really a lot, but more often in SGs and things like that. You'd never see a 345. This is a 59 Les Paul. It used to belong to Brad Whitford, and it is very figured, which is what makes him the most valuable. This guitar is nicknamed Snake.
Back on the buzz with Danny Frazier.
And we need a little more buzz here too, if you don't mind.
Oh yeah.
We cheer. Okay.
Cheers.
When in
Cheers.
Rome.
Yeah, exactly.
So Janelle, is this the espresso? Is that what we're drinking today?
It's Three Amigos.
Three Amigos
Hey,
espresso.
all right.
Yeah.
It's not espresso, it's just the three.
Oh, that's
I
good
liked them when
stuff.
there were two. They were great. Three, man. They're excellent.
That's cool.
Extra.
Right on. Thank you, Janelle.
Extra kick.
We'll have to brew another pot.
Oh, it's good stuff, man.
I got the drags there.
Yeah, you got the
Spider.
Yeah.
He's used to it.
Last call, I guess.
Yeah.
I'll make you another.
Everybody else is good?
Good.
I'm
All
good.
right. So Danny,
Yes, sir.
you look great with that guitar, man. That
Thank you,
guitar
man.
fits
It's the
your
package.
outfit perfectly.
Yeah.
Well, I can't afford it, so it's going to be a one-time thing. But I appreciate you letting me play it. Yeah.
You know,
It's
I sent little messages out, said anybody have any dream guitars, and you told me a 0018, a vintage. So I brought you one, and you played the Gretsch instead.
Yeah.
which is
Dallas is
cool. I like that. Yeah.
No, I dig it. It's very cool. And I love Gretches.
Yeah.
And I think it was only like 5 years ago that I only had Gretsch guitars. I had 4 of them. And then I got into Tellys. So I sold all the Gretches and only had Tellys.
Wow.
Now I've got a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is a beauty, man. Very cool.
So you were talking about doing the album with Kenny.
Yeah, with Kenny Vaughn. Mm-hmm.
And is he producing it? Is he playing
He
it? or
co-produced it
both?
with me, and then the engineer. We also gave co-production credits too, because he was one of these engineers. You know, a lot of engineers want to chime in a lot. They want to try. This guy rarely ever spoke, but when he did, it was something that really was helpful. So,
Yeah.
and Kenny likes that,
Like
you know?
singing tune. Stuff like that.
Right.
You know, when he says it, it matters.
Right, exactly. It was a pleasure working with those guys, man.
Yeah.
Kenny's just like, yeah. And Kenny's so cool, you know, in the studio. He's just like, yeah, man.
It's like a second home, I'm sure.
Did he play on the album?
There was no pressure. He played on the whole record, too.
Oh, wow.
Was it your band or did you use
No, I used session guys, but I took Chris Goins, who's been with me.
Oh,
Chris,
yeah,
he's
for
so
a lot of
good.
years.
I've
Yeah.
known him for.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you guys have known him longer than I have, but we've been playing together now for a long, long time. And,
What a monster player.
He's like,
Yeah.
you know, he's a guy like Chucky is for you, man. He's hardworking, professional.
I got to get Chris on the show.
And Chris really helped me through the process of mainly encouraging me just to always be myself. You know, he goes, "This is your one chance," because I got to do this record, and because I had backers, you know, and one of my things that I told him was, "Look, if we're going to do this, the only way I want to do it is if we got to do it right, and I have to have final say, because I've already had record deals and done stuff where." You know,
I was going to say you had a label, right?
Yeah,
you had
and it's
things
pretty
you-
much, you know, shut up, get up there and smile and play guitar and sing, and we'll tell you how to dress and what kind of music to play. You know what I mean?
Shania Twain.
A lot of guys have that kind of experience, and I didn't want to do that anymore. So,
I understand.
so I got to pick all my players, all my songs, all that, but now and then I would still find myself trying to fall back into, you know, I second guess myself a lot. It might be an artist thing.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
It's a
though.
bipolar bear thing. And Chris was always there to go, dude, just follow your, you know, do what you want. But anyways, I took Chris down. He played good. And it was so funny because him and I are both huge Kenny Vaughn fans. And we get in the studio and we walk in and Chris goes, "Where do you want me to set up?" And literally there was 2 chairs like this. And Kenny goes, "You're right there and I'm right here." And Chris was like, "Oh,
Wow.
yeah." So he's like, "Oh, I got to sit next to one of my heroes and play, you know, guitar today." So
That's
but
cool.
it was an absolute blast, yeah. Especially
That's
at this
awesome.
age to get that opportunity is
What studio were you in?
unheard of. So two friends of mine, Chris Lindsay and Amy Mayo, they wrote a lot of hit songs back in the 90s. They're still writing great songs.
Yeah, Chris Lindsay. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, Chris, and they bought Mel Tillis's old house. Yeah, and I guess his widow had it for a long time, or they were divorced and she had it when he was still alive. Anyways, they bought that house, beautiful old stucco Spanish style house, and courtyard style, which they said they had a lot of great stories about Johnny Cash and Bob Dylan hanging out there and doing guitar pullings in that house.
Oh, that's cool.
When Dylan was in town doing that Nashville skyline. So right across the path, the driveway is a little cottage, which they added on to and made a bigger live room there. And it's just got a lot of vibe. And it was out, you know, you weren't down on Music Road doing that whole thing. And we got to block it out for like a whole week.
Oh, that's
which
cool,
is
man.
unheard of, you know.
Yeah.
I didn't have to do that, get all the tracks in one day. We did 2 days of tracking, and then we had at least 3 days where we could, you know, have Steve Henson, who played on your record. That's the funniest guy I've ever met in my life. I said to Kenny Vaughn one day, I go, dude, that was like hanging out with Merle Haggard. He goes, better. And he loves Merle as much as we do, but Steve Henson is hilarious.
He's the best of the best, man.
He is a great player. But so we brought in different guys for some overdub stuff. But yeah, that's where we recorded.
That's cool. And is this song you're going to do on that album?
This is the title track of the album.
All right.
So, and this is the first song I ever wrote in Nashville, by the way, too. So.
Also the theme song for their upcoming.
Right. It is the theme song for your guitar pickers thing.
And what's the name of the song?
It's called Nobody Knows Where I Am.
Well, that's for sure.
So when you guys start singing that, we'll send out some helicopters.
Yeah. Is it okay to use that as the backdrop when we're talking and driving on the show?
Oh, I would, dude, I'd be honored, seriously. But I wrote this song with a good friend of mine, Gary Cotton, and I was like, my record deal was over, and I got signed to this publishing deal on EMI Island Bound, and you're down on Music Row writing, and I don't, you know, I'm like going. And Gary was the first guy. There was all these great writers there, and he was the first guy to come to me and say, look, if you want to write a song, you got to get out of bed and get here, because I was showing up at 1 o'clock every day. These guys are like, who is this? You know, because I didn't have a clue.
Yeah.
And he said, be here at 9:30 sharp, and I'll help you write your first song in Nashville. So that's where this came from. It came out of that experience.
So they got there at 9:30 and sat around and waited on you, and they let that happen one time, right?
I think I was close. For me, 15 minutes late is on time. So I think I made it that day. But
that's cool. Well, man, let's do it, brother.
Let's
I
do it.
can't
All
wait
right.
to hear it.
Here we go. It's a little early for me to be singing.
That's all right.
It's early for everybody.
Well, you could write a song too since you're up early.
Say when, boys. We ready?
Let's do it. Yeah, we're rolling, brother.
Nobody knows where I am. Well, I feel like a stranger in some faraway land. Seems like not a soul in this world gives a damn. Got no place to go, so nobody knows where I am. Nobody knows how I feel. I don't talk much about it, so they never will. And I get tired of hearing it ain't no big deal. I'm dying inside, and nobody knows how I feel. I'm used to belonging somewhere, someone who cares, waiting at home. Now I just stay out all night, 'cause nobody sits and waits by the phone. Nobody knows where I am. Well, I wanted my freedom, now look where I stand. Seems like not a soul in this world gives a damn. Got no place to go, so nobody knows where I am. Oh, you know I'm out here alone, and nobody knows
place to start.
Appreciate that.
Let's take one now.
Oh, first song, yeah, right.
Yeah, that's good. That's
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I got to give Gary Cotton most of the credit for that.
So when you mean it's the first song you ever did in Nashville? Do
In
you mean
Nashville.
this time or?
No, this was back. I wrote that song back in. I think we wrote that probably 1997,
Okay.
98. Yeah.
And it's just now making it to a record.
When I was just 8 or 9, you know. Yeah. It's just now making it through. I think I recorded on a thing that me and Chris Goins did a long time ago, a little local thing, but
Cool.
I was never crazy about this, you know. We did, you know, you don't have any budget. You can only get it
No,
sounding
man.
so good, you know.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
That's
it had
cool.
the spirit, but I wanted to get that one down. I think, you know, some songs you want to go back and revisit because you feel like they never got the treatment that they deserved.
Sure.
All
Yeah.
mine.
It was kind of, oh my, that's good. Yeah, I'll probably feel that way until I die.
That's my career.
Yeah, right.
It sounded great. Danny,
Thanks, man. Appreciate
Thanks
it.
so much for coming, brother.
Thank you for having me. And I'm finally get to hang out with you a little bit.
Yeah.
I've never got to know Mike really like
Yeah, I
this,
mean,
so
just coming
it's a
in the
pleasure.
store and we fixed some amps for you and stuff. And
Yeah.
other than that, really,
Yeah.
I mean, maybe when I was booking the festivals, were you involved in that? You never.
I don't
did?
think I ever got invited.
Yeah,
to
I knew Dallas did. We were lucky
Yeah.
to have
Yeah.
Dallas, but yeah, it's awesome. I'm so glad you picked that guitar.
Yeah, well,
You know,
and I love it. You know, it's like
Yeah.
you have to take the opportunity to play it. Oh, I did the jack thing. I know.
Dirty Jack.
Guitar's old.
yeah,
folks.
Dirty Jack.
Give it a break.
Man, it did not happen during the song, though.
Didn't happen in the
That-
song,
that
so
was-
good. But yeah, you get an opportunity to play a guitar like this, you kind of
Yeah.
got to take it. You know.
What's the
And
spe-
it went with the shirt.
It did, man.
Oh, man, yeah.
That's the main thing.
You sex your socks on a fighting rooster.
Thank you, Dallas.
That's right, buddy.
I love you too,
I
man.
love you too, man.
Hey, before you guys step on that pedal, so we won't have that issue.
Mute it.
You mind handing me the guitar for a second?
No.
I'll just say some of the features about
Turn
it.
the volume off
There
too.
you
That
go.
might help.
Might not, but we'll see. So anyway, yeah, we'll talk about this guitar because it is a pretty special guitar.
Yeah.
It is a 1955. It's like one of the first White Falcons. It's one of the first. I think the first batch they made 30.
Wow.
And it's one of those. It has all the early features with all the fancy inlays. You know, we'll show it on the show, but the inlays are engraved.
Those are pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Gorgeous, yeah.
And it has the gold binding. This binding was actually like used on drums and stuff at the time, on the Gretsch drums.
I always love Gretsch because for the sparkle.
The gold sparkle. You know,
Yeah.
I think they what they called these guitars was like the Imperial of guitars
Oh,
or
yeah.
something. They had some certain name for it. I can't remember.
Well, it's just like deco and like, so to me, it's deco.
It is deco, yeah, it
the
is deco.
tailpiece is
Yeah.
Well, and the tuners, it's got the
Right.
That's
Imperial.
true. Yeah, you're right.
Right.
The tuners are
Stair-step
tough.
Those are
tuners.
great, man. Yeah.
And also, you know, the early versions have what they call the wide T logo.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Gretsch goes down and has the wings.
It looks like Longhorns. up
Yeah,
there.
only the early ones are like that.
Okay.
I think it's so clean.
Yeah.
It is pretty clean.
It's got the smoke tint, you know, from cigarette
Right.
smoke
Right.
tint to it, the nicotine tint, I guess, but which is
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Well, what happens is the clear lacquer turns yellow.
Oh, that's right. You're right.
And they never lacquered the plastic on the headstocks because this is plastic.
Laminate. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So see how much whiter it is?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And the original penguins, which are even more rare than falcons,
Oh yeah.
are the same way.
Penguins are the smaller solid bodies.
Yeah,
right?
it's like a duojet except white.
Yeah.
They're the same way where they have the white on the headstock. But yeah, I've been wanting to share this guitar. It's an ebony fretboard.
Yep.
And if you notice, there's binding in front of the gold too. And two masters for the pickups, a master volume for both pickups. I'm sorry, volume,
Individual volume.
master, and a master
Master
tone.
tone. Yeah.
And they have like pearl and inlays in them, and the knobs, which is crazy.
And this one, Mike, too, I noticed has the different. It doesn't have Filtertrons. It has the. Now I'm going to draw a blank.
DeArmonds.
DeArmond pickups.
Yeah, they
which
used
are
those
cool,
pickups till
man.
56.
Oh, they did. So they
Yeah.
didn't even have Filtertrons.
Well,
yet.
actually, probably till middle 57.
I mean, I love Filtertrons, but I always thought the DeArmonds were really.
Yeah, the early
cool,
ones
man.
are like this.
Yeah.
They never did this logo and these features with the other pickups.
Yeah.
And Falcons, there's a lot to know, man. They changed them a lot. They made stereo ones. They made ones with split pickups and weird extending tremolo systems. But this, I think, is the best version they ever made because it's sort of simple. as far as a Gretsch guitar goes. You know, they start having more switches, and Gretsch sometimes goes overboard.
The mud switch.
Yeah, they start having mutes and all kinds of stuff that's just like crazy.
Now, what famous artists back then have been seen with these?
You know, early on, you know, I honestly don't know. I'm sure country guys
with a
played
White
these.
Falcon. Yeah, I'm trying to think of who played them.
You know, Crosby, Stills, and Nash.
Yeah.
Neil Young.
Neil Young has one.
Stills. All those guys. I think Buffalo. Did he play one in Buffalo Springfield?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think I've seen some.
A lot of
Californian
60s guys.
Neil Young did an album of 3 or 4 years ago, maybe longer. I'm not good with time. That Daniel Lanois produced.
Oh, yeah.
And he's got his old White Falcon.
Yeah.
And I think his old 62 Deluxe Tweed, or what year is that? He's got
his
two
Tweed
of those.
Deluxe, yeah.
And he's in he's in Daniel Lanois' big, mansion in Beverly Hills or somewhere. And it's just, I love this album. It's just him and the White Falcon.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just as loud as you can get it, just distorting. Ballads, it don't matter. It's, it's the King of Grunge thing.
Exactly.
And it's really a cool sound, man.
Yeah.
And he played it all on that.
Godfather.
He is the Godfather of Grunge.
There's a song on Pearl Jam's last record called, it's a mellow ballad thing, and it's called Pendulum. And lead guitar player Mike McCready plays a White Falcon.
Plays a White
song
Falcon.
on the opening night of the tour in Pittsburgh and came out with and started the show that way.
Lanois came to the store.
Did he?
And we talked about all kinds
What a cool
of
guy,
studio. He was so nice, man.
He seems like he's real humble, yeah.
Yeah.
Monster though.
No, I love everything he does pretty much. I mean, his stuff can get a little muddy. Like he likes things speaking on the dark side. Right. But it's so beautiful. It's kind of his signature thing, you know.
What's your favorite?
And he's a great player.
What's your favorite?
I don't, I've never dug into his solo stuff that much. I need to.
His solo stuff.
So now you're gonna light me up, okay?
Beauty of
Because I think
that's where I'd start.
That's a good travel, man. I put that on.
I think where I first become a huge. I knew about the U2 stuff, but when I heard the Emmylou Harris
Wrecking Ball.
Wrecking Ball.
Neville Brothers. Man, he did.
I didn't know he did Neville Brothers.
What was the name of the band he had with the singer from Stone Temple Pilots that passed away? I can't think of that album.
Scott.
Oh, I forget.
He had a band.
Key of Blue.
He played guitar in that band.
12 bars in blue or something like that.
He's got an old gold top with a Bigsby, kind of like
Sure.
modeled kind of after Neil Young,
Right.
thing.
So anyway, I bought this guitar from the original owners, like pictures of it. He was one of those old guys, like we were speaking about, that just loved his guitar and cherished it. He just got to where he couldn't play. The dude had style too, man.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
He's got a picture of this like the day he bought it with his caddy or something, which I have a copy of. Which
I
will
was
show.
going to say, did Dwayne Eddy?
Dwayne Eddy plays a great.
Dwayne Eddy played a 6120.
He didn't play a White Falcon. He played that.
Okay.
Yeah, and he has a special one because I think he put like a P90 in it or some.
He may have had a. Do he have a D Armand in his? No, I'm trying to remember because
His original guitar had a D Armand and something else.
Yeah, so it might have been a D Armand and a P90.
Yeah, but anyway.
The tremolo.
So cool. Yeah, I'm glad you picked this guitar, man.
Great guitar, man. What a pleasure.
Yeah.
Cool.
I don't know if you could see it, but he had put his name on here, and I started taking it off, and I just stopped halfway through.
Oh, is that right?
So
Yeah.
actually, now I think maybe he had already taken off the Larry, and I started taking off a little bit here, and just decided, you know what, man, I just
leave it on.
It's kind of like honors the dude.
It is kind of cool, yeah.
Yeah.
Remember that one story about that guy that came into your store who wanted a hardtail Strat, and you had just bought one that had a name on the neck that was made. The name was Carl.
Yeah.
And this guy's like, he came in and asked for a hardtail. You just came back from a show.
Yeah.
And you go, well, what's your name? He's like, Carl. It was like, wow.
Here's the deal. I just came back from Dallas, and there was like 50 guitars in the front room. And he walked in, and he said, I want an early 70s Strat with my name. I want to get it with my name in it. And I said, well, what's your name? Because he said, Carl. And I swear to you, I had just bought an early, it was specific. It's like
it was
an early
hardtail.
70s Strat hardtail, and I wanted to get my name put in it. And I had that exact guitar.
But you didn't get it right then, did
No,
you?
and I said, just hold on. I started dug through all the cases. I opened it up, and he was like freaked out.
It already had that name on it?
Yeah. I bought it from a guy who ordered it.
The guitar.
It was a hardtail 74 Strat with his name in it. And he was like,
That's
he's like
kismet
totally
right there.
flipped out.
I think he had to call his wife. She said no or something like that.
And it turned out to be Carl Perkins.
Yeah. Anyway, I still see that guy, and he comes in.
Well,
and
he
like
did
brings
buy
it.
it
So I should have bought it. No, he never did buy it.
He never
So like come in and ask for something like that.
Dude, that's not, yeah.
It like
if
freaked
something's
me
that
out.
magical, I'm on it.
Yeah.
I was trying to help you out.
You got to follow the signs.
So anyway,
Exactly.
if anybody out there is named Shinberg or Shinberg,
Or Larry.
If you drop the price down to $2,000, I'll just change my name.
It'd be a lot better, yeah.
I'll be 98,000 short, but
we'll be right back. All right, we're back on the buzz with Jim.
hey,
Jim Peltz.
Happy to be here.
You know,
Thanks for calling.
I like to give a little shout out to our photographer, Wayne.
Yeah, Wayne.
He does a great job
Cheers,
every time.
Wayne was going to set in on this song and play the jazz master, but he backed out at the last minute.
good call, Wayne.
Yeah, you know what? Who else we need to give a shout out to is Mike Tacovey,
Oh, yeah.
who from Sin State. They help us out with the labs we use and give us some great help from some of the students and the past people that have been there. And
But
really
nobody was here last time. It was just Elton. Right?
No, he missed one.
Holidays.
Yeah, but anyway, Jim, thanks for being on the show, brother.
My pleasure. I appreciate it.
And no big shock that you picked that guitar. Although I don't think did we actually discuss it? I don't think we did.
Well, I kicked a couple things your way, and
Yeah.
I just thought, this might be fun.
Yeah. Well, that guitar I tried to have on a different episode. Actually, probably a few, and it never made it.
Well, it needed to be on one.
Exactly. Yeah, and you're the perfect guy for it, man.
I hope so. We'll see.
Yeah. So besides the Almond Butter Band, I know you got like 3 other things going on, right?
I got a bunch of things going on. First thing I'll do is push my project.
Yeah.
I got a CD coming out this year, fingers crossed, real soon. Solo CD called Another New Morning. And super stoked for that. Your buddy Greg Martin plays a cut on it. Yeah, and
Greg's
then Lloyd Maines, I don't know if you guys know him, but got him to
I know
play.
the name.
Amazing pedal steel player. And Natalie Maine's father, that, Dixie Chicks.
Oh,
But
yeah.
He plays on 4 cuts, so.
That's great.
So I'm pushing that out there, but Hickory Robot's my bluegrass thing. We're staying busy, and then Root Cellar Extract is kind of Southern California country rock. So
Great name too.
yeah, I am not responsible for that.
So how many people are in that band?
I guess it depends on the day. It's a big band, maybe 7 guys.
I just wondered because you said Southern California. What did you call it?
Well, what is it? Southern
Country-esque?
California country rock.
stuff.
Kind of.
When you say that, I think multiple harmonies.
Yeah. A little. We got a pedal steel player, and harmonies are important too.
Eagle-esque kind of stuff.
Eagle-esque,
Buffalo,
Poco.
Springfield,
We
kinda
do some
early.
Buffalo.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of everything,
The
But
Birds would be probably part of that early sound of
Do you guys do all originals or covers?
It's largely the guy that put it all together is Clyde Bailey, and a lot of it is his original material. We're doing a CD. We're in the middle of recording that, and some of my stuff's going to make its way onto that, and then and some covers. The stuff you'd expect, some Eagles and.
So what's your solo project going to be like, or solo album?
Southern California country rock. Again, it's kind
I
of.
love that stuff.
Hey man.
Well, I'm all
Jackson
about the
Browns.
hybrid. You know what I mean? Like I'll never be pure anything. So it's singer-songwriter, country, a little bluegrass, and just kind of, like you were talking about, being a little eclectic with it. But mostly, like I think people are going to, especially with Lloyd playing pedal steel, it's country.
Froggy comes a courting.
Somebody play that for him so we'll stop talking about it.
Froggy comes a courting again.
It's probably not what you think.
And the happy birthday song. Right?
Yes,
We're gonna do a medley.
So,
Actually,
so before you start,
And the chocolate allergy. Don't forget that. Sorry.
that's okay. You're an amazing musician. You play a lot of different instruments, right?
if they have strings.
Didn't you like start playing trombone mainly?
Well, yeah, I had a career as a trombonist, and I let it slide. Boom. There, thank you. All right, I did, but I've played guitar since I was 14, and you know, you guys know how it is with guitar.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's
There's a few guitar
player.
players in the
There's
world.
a few. Trombone was a little bit easier to, you know, get around on, get gigs on, get called for.
Did you play trombone in the high school band and that kind of stuff?
I did that.
Yeah.
I toured with some big bands, played with people like, you know, Temptations and Tony Bennett, and
Yeah.
you know, and then just ended up having some chop problems in my 30s. It just, I said, screw it. You know, like I worked real hard on it, and I got guitar. You know.
So was that, you know, not to get real personal, but was that sort of heartbreaking that you had to stop
That's
playing trombone?
maybe one of the worst things that doesn't include a death.
Really?
That
Wow.
happened.
So
Yeah.
you were really passionate about the trombone.
Oh yeah, he
I'm
was
passionate
like
about
big
music.
time. Man.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, and
Well, I'm
so
sorry
when
to
you-
hear that.
Well, but you know what? I'm not. I mean, I appreciate it, but
Yeah.
like I like left turns in life, and this gave me a chance to do something I love to do. You know.
It
So were
evolved
you
you
playing-
into playing guitar then, right?
Were you playing guitar the whole time also, or did you just pick up guitar
I had
after?
played. No, I played guitar since 14, but I never gigged on it.
Okay.
You know, so all my gigging was on the trombone, and then in my 30s, I just let's gig.
Do you often go for like a spit valve on the guitar and like?
I just spit. Forget the valve. I'll just spit.
Don't need the valve.
Yeah.
Were you writing songs during that time period when you were playing trombone with other people?
You know, I did, but I tend to focus on what's in front of me, so it was more focused on jazz.
Gotcha.
You know, but like I can go back. I had a Fust XX15 that's got a bunch of crappy songs that I'd written on it. You know, maybe one day they'll see the
I think
light.
we all probably have that
Yeah.
same machine with the same
It
cassette.
was either that or the right?
Pass it around.
So,
Let's go. I just wanted to get that out there because
Oh, I
it's an
appreciate it.
interesting
Yeah, that's
history.
cool.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
it's I had a part 1 and part 2 to this career, and
There you
so
go.
far so good on part
Hey,
2.
still at
Yeah.
it, though, man.
And this song is off the solo album?
No, this song I'm gonna take a cue from Nathan over there and do a new song,
Yeah.
and this one's
Exclusive.
called
Let 'em
Blind
know.
Eye.
Wow.
We love that.
Gotta make a
So
record.
yeah,
You got to hack it up as much as I did. Too.
I'll do what I can. But I just thought we got a new year, and this song kind of reflects like a change in attitude. You
Right
know,
on.
So
We need one of those.
Yeah.
we good.
We're good.
Well, I used to judge my brother by the clothes and the countenance that he wore. Oh, I used to be self-righteous, but I don't do that anymore. See, I never knew my neighbor. I never cared for the world outside my door. So I used to turn a blind eye, but I don't do that anymore. I don't do that now that I know better. I have come to learn a better way, and I'm just trying to hold myself together. I'm just trying to get on with the day. Well, I've been sitting at the table, and I've been fed upon the fruits of war, and I never fought the hunger, but I don't do that anymore. When they showed me how you suffered, what I saw, it shook me to the core. Still, I never did a damn thing. I don't do that anymore. And I don't do that now that I know better. I have come to learn a better way. just trying to hold myself together. I'm just trying to get on with the day. Conscience. It's been getting harder to ignore, and I used to never listen, but I don't do that anymore. And I don't do that now that I know better. I have come to learn a better way. I'm just trying to hold myself together. I'm just trying to get on with my day. I'm just trying to get on with the day. I'm just trying to get on with my day. Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Really great, man. You're right. It
New
had a
decade,
really.
new year.
Yeah, man. When you can do better, do better.
Go right in there, man.
We need more positivity, you know?
I'm all about like depressing songs and all of that. But I figure we'll do one for the new year.
There you go.
You know, it's hard to write like that, you know? I mean, I think it's easier to be sad.
Well, you know,
I mean,
like,
and not sound cheesy, and that was amazing.
I
man.
think the toughest thing to do is to write a good, non-cheesy but uplifting
Yeah,
song.
it was
It's
great.
a tough
Totally.
trick.
Yeah.
Because you feel more creative when you're in your down times. You know, you got to write your way out of stuff. You know?
Yeah.
People
guess.
pick up on it.
When you're happy, you don't tend to be
It's true. You don't need the catharsis.
You don't have as much motivation. Yeah.
Now wait, Dallas, are you going to do a happy song
Yeah.
too?
Dallas is always happy.
We got the happy side over here. Okay, I see what's going on.
back and forth.
That's why they moved us over there. Like sad songs over on this side. Happy
Good
days.
side, evil.
That's funny.
I definitely heard every influence that you mentioned. I mean, it sounded exactly like the way that you described yourself. I think it sounded great, man.
I appreciate
Yeah.
it. The beautiful guitar to play it on, man.
It was sweet. It had a
Yeah,
nice,
I'm glad that
smooth
made the
Rang.
Every
show
note was
Mm-hmm.
like, from where
good
I'm
sounding
sitting, it
guitar.
sounded great.
What
I
year is
mean,
that, Mike?
That's a 62.
It's my birth year.
Yeah, it's a Les Paul.
So you know how old I am now.
In 62, even though it's an SG, or what people think of as an
Yeah.
SG, it's a Les Paul. They're called Les Pauls until 63.
That's right, because
Year I'm born.
the ones that cost a fortune now weren't selling back in the late 50s, right?
Well, no, it's not really that. Gibson, well, it's different stories, but basically, Les Paul was leaving. So they put his name on other instruments, and some people think that's maybe why he was leaving. He never liked SGs.
Right.
And his wife, Mary Ford, played SGs.
Yeah.
Oh, she did?
Yeah. So
Lighter,
nobody
They got
really
divorced,
knows why
right?
they went from this single cut to this and called this a Les Paul. But maybe it's because they weren't selling
But I
it.
mean, the development of the SG, wasn't that kind of because the Les Paul, was that part of that?
Probably,
thing that
I
they were-
guess. I mean, how someone
what
could
I've
look at
heard,
a 59 Les Paul and think it needed to change, I'll never know.
Well, that's when they
But-
quit making
But
it,
they didn't
right?
sell back then. Is that correct, though? They weren't selling goods from what I remember.
I mean, relative to like the modernism guitars, they sold great.
Oh, okay.
I mean, if you compare it to like an Explorer or a Flying V or the other stuff, Les Pauls were selling pretty good.
Oh, got you. Okay.
The
When did they
Sunburst
stop making
ones,
them?
60 is the last year for a single cutaway burst Sunburst
Right.
guitar. So their gold tops up until 58, and then half of 58 they became Sunburst, and that's what the people call the burst.
Yeah.
Like Greg Martin's guitar,
Right.
which by the way,
Hank.
Greg says he's coming on his show.
Do it.
Yeah, that's cool.
That would be
Now we got it out there. He has to call.
Yeah, right?
Anyway,
Pressure's on.
I'm going to try to get him to bring his guitar. And maybe we could do a burst episode. But anyway, yeah, so there's Sunburst between half of 58, 59, and 60. And there's some people think of very few 61 single cuts, which I think there probably is. But for the most part, they're SGs by then. And then they're still called Les Pauls until 63. And then they take his name off the headstock. But it's the same exact guitar for the most part. And those guitars still have the famous PAF pickups.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Do you know if SG is just standard guitar? Is that what it would stand
I think
for?
it's Spanish guitar.
Spanish? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because they did that's what the ES 335s too. That was electric Spanish or something.
I think so.
And then like the asking price was $335, right?
Yeah. I think
Wasn't
so
it?
back in the
Yeah,
day.
like the
That was part of the deal.
175 was.
Yeah, I'm not so sure that applied to the electrics. I'll have to look into that.
Okay.
I know that like certain acoustics that was like that. Yeah.
Seems to be
Then
the
the
175
355 was $20 more.
Had
What's-
fancier binding.
What's weird about that guitar? It's what they call an ebony block guitar, because it doesn't have the rest of the Maestro tremolo. It has an ebony block, and once again, in normal Gibson fashion, nobody knows really why they
It
did.
came like that out of the factory?
Yeah,
That's
out of the
crazy.
factory like that. They did a few like that.
Huh.
In between 62 and 64, occasionally you would see that. Now, I don't know if that was someone's influence at the factory that did it, or I've seen it on the white customs, custom Les Pauls.
Oh, really?
And also the standards, but it's extremely rare. And
It
that's
looks cool.
That's why I kept the guitars, because it's the ebony block.
Now, I think we mentioned this a couple shows ago. There are 3 pickup white versions of Les Pauls, correct?
Yeah, and the episode that Dusty was on, gosh, I can't. Who played the white custom, Elton?
That wasn't Dusty.
Sister Rose. Oh,
Ben Franks.
Ben Franks
Okay,
played
right,
that white
yeah.
custom.
oh, that's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sister Rosetta Thornton, is that her name? She played.
Clark. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's great, man. She played a
Mother of rock and roll right there.
Yeah, so the difference between the standard and custom is SG customs are white. And just backtrack a little bit. Single cutaway Les Pauls, the customs are black. So when they go to SGs, they become white, and they're 3 pickup, and they have gold hardware. And they also have an ebony fretboard as opposed to a rosewood fretboard, which standards have rosewood fret. And those rules apply on the single cuts too. They have the customs have gold hardware. They also have ebony fretboards,
and they have fancier inlay and stuff too.
They have block inlays
and the
instead
different
of
headstock.
trapezoid inlays.
And the fancier headstock inlay too.
Right, they have
The
bindings.
customs. Yeah.
Around the headstock. And it's sort of ironic that the standards became the real expensive guitars because they were the cheaper ones originally.
Oh wow.
But yeah, man, that worked great for what you were doing. And I mean,
Felt
that's
great.
right up your style too. So do you play a lot of slide?
Not as much as I would like to. When we're doing the Allman Brothers thing, Scott Hacker kind of does the open E
Scott.
thing, and then I'll do like a standard tuning slide. But I feel like I got my hands full trying to cover the vocals and the guitar part. But yeah, I love playing slide.
Yeah. Well, the reason I ask is, SGs are kind of sort of famous for slide guitars.
Sure, yeah.
A couple guys.
Because of Dwayne and Derek. Yeah. And, so, yeah, thanks, man. That was really good stuff. I really
I
enjoyed
appreciate
it.
it, man.
Yeah.
My pleasure.
Yeah.
I love that
Great.
song, Jim.
I appreciate that. Thank you. It's a beautiful instrument.
Hello and welcome to Fret Buzz.
I hope it's not anything evil.
Would you like Daddy's teeth?
Bring a ding ding, I'm rotten inside. This is just food on my lap.
Your brother is Crazy Troy?
They throw their feces.
Yeah. I actually got the topless one.
That's all right. That's why God made Take Two.
A song called Pretty Pretty Polycake.
Yeah.
A monkey has a tail and apes don't have tails. Let's say you had an old monkey on it. So, find some dumb shit to say once we...
Let it roll. Episode 2, by the way.
What?
Episode 2, by the
Do it
way.
again.
We're on our way.
Don't say dumb shit that soon.
We're back on Fret Buzz. All right. Yeah. I guess you're finally going to get your wish. He's going to play Froggy's going to go court.
Yeah. I finally realized I grew up to be Uncle Pecos.
Did I get it right, or is it the wrong?
Froggy goes to court.
You're close, yeah.
Crambo.
Froggy
He goes.
I was close anyway.
Goes is what makes it country.
If I need a guitar string, I can pull a whisker off it.
Yeah. Speaking of that, man, I made the mistake of shaving my beard. It's not a good idea.
Couple more months before you can.
Hey, I made it in a week.
I can tell them my razor's rusty and my barber's bored.
Well, don't shave up here too close because you get a wart.
That's coming up again too. There we go. It always circles back.
You know what's weird about beards is like, you're young, man. I didn't know that till today. Yeah. Your beard makes me think you're old. And when I shaved, I was like, oh my God, I'm 14 now. How old are you, Dallas?
I'm 49. I'll be 50 on August 7th.
I mean, that's not super young, you know. You've kind of looked like that for...
I'm older than I've ever been.
But you're younger than that now.
That's what Groucho Marx said. You're only as old as the girl you feel.
Yeah.
Oh,
They're
man.
with the PG rating.
Right, yeah. No cussing yet.
Hovering right there.
So, Dallas, I always think of you... I know you play a lot of guitar, but I always think of you because you're the front man.
Yeah.
Is like the songwriter guy, you know, and you have Chuck, who's like, God, it's amazing. It's like me playing with Mark. I mean, they're both amazing guitar players.
Yeah.
So don't take this wrong, but I never think of you as like a guitar player.
Yeah.
But you just played and tore it up, and I was like, damn, man, he's good.
I went to NKU on a jazz and classical guitar scholarship straight out of high school.
You're so freaking good, dude.
And then I've had to stand next Lucky Chucky every night for 24 years now.
Yeah.
So you better get good or get gone.
Dallas, you play a lot more lead these days too. We both of us have been as we've gotten older.
Yeah,
your lead playing's got
everything.
great, man.
The way I just play, acoustic. I haven't played electric guitar in almost 10 years now.
Wow.
But I just played my right-hand guitar. You asked what our dream guitar was, and I wrote back, well, I guess my dream guitar is my guitar. Old Mossy. It's a silver Alvarez Silver Anniversary, and it's pretty much the only guitar I play, and I just kind of developed my style and our sound, as far as doing everything live.
Oh, that's
is
cool.
based really around that, and me and Chuck, we've never worked anything out. We play what the other one doesn't, and it's just kind of melded, meshed into our sound.
Well, you guys play so much and so often, it's probably second nature now.
It is.
Yeah.
It's almost like we're just having a conversation.
Well, you do a lot of solo stuff too without Chuck, don't you?
Yeah.
And when you're doing that, and you're playing guitar by yourself. Is it mostly just strummy?
No, I'm the bass player, the rhythm player, the lead picker, and the drummer.
That's
I'm
great.
The whole band.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I just learned to make as much noise as I could by myself.
That's awesome.
It just kind of developed over the years like that.
Yeah. Wow,
jazz and classical style.
Yeah, and when I was there taking the courses in the day, of course, took music theory, and I got to. I was doing the classical recitals, both solo and with a quartet. But then I got to be in the big band, and I always loved all kinds of music. But in the day, I'd be going to school and studying that stuff, and at night I was playing in the honky tonks, and I was always been a big fan of Western swing, and I realized what Bob Wills and the Texas Playboys were doing, and what Benny Goodman and Charlie Christian was doing was very similar. Just different instruments. Trade a clarinet for a fiddle, and a lot of times they were playing the same songs.
Country swing stuff was like amazing stuff.
And then
big time.
My favorite guitar player is Willie Nelson, and then I learned that Willie's got his influence from Django Reinhardt. So I went down the rabbit hole of connecting the dots of all that. And then I grew up with my mom's influence of bluegrass and Appalachian music, and I just kind of messed all that together into
all that stuff makes sense, man. Now that I know all that, but that's amazing.
Tell us what your guitar's named again.
Old Mossy.
Old Mossy.
That was the name of my dad's prize 12-gauge shotgun
that
that he got the most rabbits with. And so that was the name of his weapon. And so
Don't make me get out of Old Mossy.
became mine. And like
That's
you were
cool.
talking before about
Trigger.
being a one guitar. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like Trigger is a Willie, and it's like she's like my right hand.
I admire that, man. I
I feel like I'm
great.
cheating on her with this.
We won't say it.
We won't tell her.
No one will ever know.
Oh, that's funny.
But like kind of what Danny was saying, that guitar, as far as especially with our live, sound, 'cause it's a very thin body guitar, but when it's plugged in and we play at a very loud volume, and because of Chucky, I'm just kidding.
Blame it on
But
Chucky.
we play very loud, and that guitar it's like a cannon, the low end, and we never have any feedback issues or anything with it.
Oh, that's
and
great,
and
man.
it's and it cuts through, real
Well, I haven't seen you in a while. I mean, last time I saw you, you were playing a Telecaster Deluxe.
Yeah,
And
I
that's
still got
God,
that.
has it been that long since you played it?
Yeah.
That was a cool
I remember
guitar
that
because I remember you
guitar.
had weird knobs on it or something. Like, didn't you have like
It was the Telecaster Deluxe that had the humbucker. And,
you had something weird on like part of a truck or something? I can't remember.
oh yeah, no, they were revolvers.
Oh, is that what it was? They had like revolvers.
Yeah.
That was so
Those
cool.
were- Because the knobs broke off.
Oh, there you go.
And I think I had like a pair of dice on the toggle
Yeah.
switch, and those
I
were
remember
little
that
things.
guitar.
A buddy of mine had them made up. They were like a 6-shooter revolver, and I put
That's
that.
great.
Yeah,
That
really
guitar
cool.
have a wide range humbucker in the neck?
Yes.
Two of them. Yeah.
Two, oh, you,
No, it had one
his
in a
had
single coil on the bridge.
Oh, it was a
Yeah,
custom.
I've got
then.
a-
Yeah,
I've got
custom deluxe. Yeah.
the thin line with two, the 72 thing, but you had that.
And then I've got one of only 2 amplifiers that were made for Waylon Jennings that I bought from Dale Watson.
Oh, cool.
And I was using that amp for a while, and then after Waylon passed away, I put it up. And
What kind of amp is it?
it's a custom made amp that came with the road case. It's in a like an oak.
Just like somebody's
case.
butt, no
it's,
name
it's
on
a
it.
115 speaker, and then a 112 on a different shelf, and then a modded out twin head.
Like his Guitar Tech made it, or was it company made
no,
it?
Fender made
Oh,
made
Fender
it.
made it.
And they made, but there's only 2 of them.
Oh, that's cool.
And
That's a
I
loud
bought
amp.
it. Waylon sold it to Dale Watson before he passed, and then I bought it from Dale.
That's neat, man.
And,
yeah.
But that old guitar that you're talking about,
The
when I
custom,
would play it through the Waylon amp, it had a pretty magic sound.
Oh, yeah.
If I was to go back, and if I ever do start playing electric again, I'd probably give it a whirl.
Yeah.
I
Break
still
it
got
out.
the guitar.
Well, originally, what I was going to bring for you was a 1947 or a 46 D28.
Okay.
Which I just got, and it went into repair, and it came out and it wasn't completely done, so I had to take it back.
Yeah.
So that's why.
Well, this will work out just fine.
Yeah, right on. Well, man, I can't wait to hear what you're going to play for us, brother.
Okay, so I'm gonna play a new version of an old song, kind of like Danny was talking about earlier with his tune. So many of our tunes from back in the day were still really strong songs, but they've been out of print for some of them 15, 20 years, something like that. So my next project after the Trying to Be a Blessing album is I'm coming out with a series of 6-song EPs that are some of my stronger stuff that has kind of been out of print and no one's been able
that's so
to
cool.
have
That's
it.
a good idea, yeah.
And give them a proper recording that we weren't, like you said, we were all broke and making records for, on a shoestring budget that we didn't have.
Right, exactly.
We had a big bar steel to get that.
You knew what you wanted to hear, but you couldn't afford to get what you wanted to hear.
And so these songs, I've always believed in them and felt they were strong. And I want to come out probably about 6 to 8 months apart with a series of at least 2 volumes and possibly 3. And I'm going to call it Gems and Jams. And there'll be some of the older tunes. So instead of playing a song off of my new album, Trying to Be a Blessing, I'm going to play this because of this guitar. I figured this would be a good matchup for.
Yeah.
This is a tune that I wrote and we originally recorded live within the walls of the Bullitt County Jail. And this is a little heathen preaching. We're going to go up on that mountain.
All right.
You can jump in, Danny, anytime you want.
I don't know anything about that.
Going up on that mountain, we're gonna reach up to the sky. We'll be singing
we'll be shouting, oh, we'll raise our voices high. We'll be soaking up that sunshine. We'll be working hard all day. We'll be sipping on that moonshine as we dance the night away. We're going up on that mountain. We're gonna reach up to the sky. We'll be singing, we'll be shouting, oh, we'll raise our voices high. Let's come together, all my sisters dance around, all my friends, all my family, oh, we'll come from miles around. We're going up on that mountain, we're gonna reach up to the sky. We'll be singing, we'll be shouting, oh, we'll raise our voices high. Everybody leave that city, everyone is welcome here. Father Time and Mother Nature in this land we love so dear. We're going up on that mountain, we're gonna reach up to the sky. We'll be singing, we'll be shouting, oh, we'll raise our voices high. Going up on that mountain, we're gonna reach up to the sky. We'll be singing, we'll be shouting, oh, we'll raise our voices high. We'll be singing, we'll be shouting, oh, we'll raise our voices high. Yeah! Yeah!
You almost got it.
Hallelujah, brother.
I almost jumped in there.
I did too.
This is what Fret Buzz is about.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I was tempted too, but
Yeah, I almost.
I do want to take a chance.
Had to let it go.
I want to sing the harmonies.
Yeah, I was feeling it.
Too loud.
Oh man,
We'll have the Heathen Preaching Crusade chorus.
There you go.
we
Choir.
definitely got the spirit rolling there.
Took us
brother.
out with a bang, didn't he?
Yeah, man.
Goodness.
That was so good, dude.
Thank you, man.
Thank you so much.
Tell us about this guitar.
Oh, that is a 1940 0018. We've had single O's and double O's on the show, but that is a triple O. And 1940, you know, any pre-war Martin is a big deal.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that everybody wants.
Yeah.
So.
The golden era.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't hurt my feelings for you to let me play.
You know, when you
I appreciate it.
It didn't
usually
sound like you were struggling.
Yeah, for me, you know, I try to set guitars up so they play really easy. I should have set it up different for you, dude. Because man, you tore it up. That guitar would have sounded even better with some big monster strings. Yeah.
I have a DR make a custom set of very heavy gauge strings that I use on Old Mossy. This has definitely got a lot of lighter touch. But I use real heavy strings. I use real heavy
Those are
strings.
probably like 11s or 12s. Yeah, but
So does James Bond play a 007?
Where's that drummer?
So man, that was wonderful.
Thank you.
And just a little bit about the guitars. You know, there's O and double O and triple O. Those are the sizes. So O is smallest, and then there's double O and there's triple. That's the biggest, what they would call a concert size before you go into the dreadnoughts. And then 18 is mahogany. And then they did 28s and 21s, which are rosewood. And but 18 is I love it, mahogany guitars. So.
I do too.
Yeah.
I've got 2 D18s. I'm a huge, and I always love Gibson J50s and J45s. They got a sweet top end about them or something, I think.
And they did
Real
a
focus.
17 too, like an 017, which is a mahogany top instead of spruce. But yeah, man, that sounded great, brother.
That's cool, man.
really, really
I think
good.
old Mossy will let me have a patch.
I think the
Yeah.
blackboard is still smoking a little bit.
Unleash the fingers of fire.
Now these were the biggest guitars they made before the Dreadnoughts, weren't they? I thought that's
Well,
right.
no, those guitars, Dreadnought's been around a long time. Since the
But I
30s.
thought they made triple O's before that, even though I thought they went
Well,
back to
they made an earlier version of an 018 and a small body guitar, but they made OM models, and yeah, they sort of did them at the same time.
This would be like bigger than like a parlor guitar, right? Or
Yeah.
would it? Yeah.
Probably be closer to the first version of
Yeah,
O.
okay,
and
yeah,
O's
that's what
top.
I was thinking.
Yeah. I mean, they're not that big. Unless you have like a double O and a triple O next to each other, it's kind of hard to tell the difference. I still got to look inside of them sometimes because, like, as you said earlier, Danny, they're not as big as you would think.
No, that's why I thought that was a double O.
Yeah, that's a triple O.
Yeah.
You know, and part of the features on an early one, too, is it has the long bridge. Notice the long saddle. It has the early style tortoise guard. It's actually a pretty clean guitar.
Yeah,
it is real clean
overall. So, yeah, man, good
The
good
parlor
stuff.
guitars
Thank
have
you,
the
man.
slope shoulders?
I love that
Say what?
guitar.
The parlor guitars,
Puts
are
bigger
those the ones with the
strings on
slope
it.
shoulders?
Parlor guitars generally are just, they're sloped, but they're small body.
The bouts are more narrow on too.
Yeah,
aren't they? Like,
yeah. And they were generally like, you know, ladies' guitars or kids' guitars.
There's some of those other. What's one? You know Vince Gill real well. He's got one that he talks about. He's got 2 of them. I think Amy bought him one, and they're extremely rare. They didn't make and that guitar is loud, surprisingly loud for how small it is.
Yeah, Vince has everything.
Oh, I know.
But
His collection's
he likes
ridiculous.
45 style guitars, so he's probably like an 045. Or,
Yeah, it was one of them. It was real elaborate,
Real
had a lot of
elaborate,
inlay
yeah.
and stuff. And he goes, "Listen to that sustain," and it just was like a Spinal Tap. But I was surprised how loud that little thing.
I was lucky to interview him for one.
I got to watch it. I still haven't
one of my
seen that
specials for KET. I interviewed him. It was like an hour-long thing, and we went to his house and we shot for a couple days. And he
So you saw the
literally
studio.
no shit has drawers
Full
of guitars and all these guitars out in his studio.
I thought that was a great idea. The drawers for solid
Yeah.
body guitars. You know?
So we just endlessly would open up. We'd open up one drawer and it'd be like 3 Lord Lar F mandolins, and then the next one would be like 0045s, and it's just crazy.
Well, I remember
stuff.
talking to his management once. This is way back in the early 90s. I was hanging out at a party with one of them, and he said, when Vince was first hitting really big, and he said, we can't get him to spend any of his money. He's making so much money. We were going, Vince, you got to start spending some money because you're like, and he said he didn't want anything. He didn't want a Mercedes. So back then, when his first marriage, bought his wife a Mercedes. And he said, I like my old that old red Caddy that I think he still has.
Well, he's been buying guitars for a while.
But that's what, this was before he got into, I think, real heavy into that, though. And I think that's what he finally found.
Now they're
something
saying,
like
don't spend
Yeah,
money.
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it was weird. When I was at his house, there was this old Strat there, and I picked something that I thought was something I couldn't screw up. So I said, let's just check it out and playing the Strat and playing it. I was like, oh, this is cool. It's like a '54 Strat. And yeah, that was one of Hendrix' guitars.
Wow.
Put that back.
and you've handled some great guitars in your time.
It's like something that Hendrix said when he was in the Army or something.
Let me ask you this, because I've always wondered. This is a crazy question, but does he have a humidifier going in that room all the time? Keep them guitars?
I don't remember seeing
I always wonder when
humidifier.
guys, because they have them out on display everywhere.
Yeah, I didn't see one.
If they keep,
But I mean,
So you don't
it's
get
pretty
hung
controlled
up on that
atmosphere.
stuff a lot?
So
Because
what?
some guys get real hung up on having to keep the
Well,
humidity
I
just
do
right.
because I've woken up to a bunch of cracked guitars in my life. So
Right,
I try to not let that happen. But man, it's tough.
Yeah, I know.
Nashville's not quite as bad as it is here, but it still gets pretty chilly down there and dry.
Because I never knew anything about that stuff till I was much older. And Chuck Adair used to play guitar with me. You probably know Chuck
Yeah.
from it. And he used to get on me. He goes, this guitar's dried out. It needs a drink. So now I run a humidifier all the time. But
Yeah, it's a good idea for sure, man.
What about the little things they put in cases?
Those
things
work
are
great,
good?
too.
Yeah.
Someday I'll show you what I do. I make my own humidifier.
Oh, you do?
Guitars,
Is it a baggie and a sponge?
A baggie and a
Poke holes in
sponge
the baggie?
and a little plate.
Oh, a little plate. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Well, anyway, Dallas, man, tell us what you got going on besides you're releasing that giant EP.
Yeah, we just finished up on New Year's Eve. Played 316 shows in in 2019, and we're starting the whole wheel up again. We're going to be touring all across the U.S. again. Lower 48 from New York to LA and Texas to Tennessee and all points in between. This month we're playing shows in Ohio, Kentucky, Indiana, Illinois, Texas, and Arizona, and I think Wisconsin and Michigan. All right. And then we go to Florida. So, but we're going to be going everywhere, and then in the spring we're going to go get back in the studio and start recording the series of EPs of my older catalog, and call it Gems and Jams, and look to have that released this summer and continue to tour in support of Trying to Be a Blessing. It's my new record's still fairly new. It only came out on October 4th, so we've got all year while we're prepping the next recording project to be touring in support of Trying to Be a Blessing.
Yeah.
Just keep the roads hot and do what we do.
Enjoying that new baby too, right?
Yeah.
Congrats on
daughter,
that.
Victory Lee Moore. She's
precious.
2.5 now, and thank you. She and her and Jenna they're able to come with me some of the time now.
Gosh, has it been that long? 2.5 years?
Yeah, she's 2.5.
Well, I feel like you just got married.
And she's singing, and well, we'll be married 10 years now. Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
She ain't killed me yet. She's had ample opportunity.
You married up too, brother.
Yeah, you certainly did, brother.
Me and you
and me both.
We outkicked our covers,
I've done
buddy.
it a few times. We outkicked our covers.
Yeah, man.
Sure.
But then we shot the video for Everything But You. It was the first time we did, a official music video of any type. And we was honored and humbled. Billboard magazine is the first time we ever made our debut in Billboard. That they put it out as an exclusive premiere back on August 29th, ahead of the album coming out.
All right.
But what I was most, proud about was my wife Jenna Danielle Moore and our 2-year-old daughter Victory Lee. They came to Nashville and they made the video with me. And if you haven't seen it, it's like watching a 4-minute movie of what my life's like, right now. And it's a song I wrote about, missing my girls when I'm out on the road. But they came down and knocked it out of the park, and I was just awful proud to have them.
That video's beautiful. I watched
Thank you.
That's so cool. Capture that,
Dean
man.
produced that. as
I
well.
used to run with Dean, back in the day.
Yeah.
He was still in his 20s, I think.
So we'll be returning to record with Dean, and we're just playing. We're playing from New York to LA and Texas to Tennessee and all points in between, and just keeping the roads hot and taking the country to the people.
Well, once again, everyone, make sure you get out and see these guys. See everyone's band.
That.
Support them, go see live music.
And we all ought to get out and see one another. And
absolutely,
we can all have us.
I'm telling everybody else to do what I need to do.
We need to get on that festival that he's going to do at Southgate House, man.
Yeah.
I love.
Yeah,
That's the only time
the
you
new
get to see
music
your
festival.
other players, because working players never get to see each other.
Yeah.
You and I talk about it all the time.
unless you got a benefit or something.
Right.
That's true.
That's the only time we see each other.
That's true.
Benefits.
Yeah.
True.
But
Thank you for getting us together here today.
Yeah, thank you all for coming.
I
It's
love
real
the show,
important.
by the way.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Janelle. Thank you, Wayne.
Thank you, Janelle. Thank you, Wayne. Thanks to Mike's Music and to Branch Hill Coffee for the wonderful coffee, and these guys for coming and sharing their songs with us. And coffee up!
This was so much fun.
Yeah. What's the tune you're gonna play us, brother? You don't know?
So, well, I never. This sounds really cliche. I don't know until I play the guitar.
No, it doesn't.
You know what I mean?
that.
I wasn't sure. So I had a couple things in mind, and I had a suspicion that there might be a Flying V on set.
Yes.
Based on a conversation we had prior.
Yeah.
So we're working on an EP now, and this is a new song. We've not recorded it yet, but we played it a couple times live. It's called Cold Sweat.
Do you own a Flying V, though?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah. That's
Is that your,
the
name
significance.
actually?
It is. It was my first real guitar. I've had it since I was 14, so about 16 years now, and still can't play it well, but it is my favorite guitar.
Is it spelled just like Cold Sweat, like the James Brown song, or what?
Yes, just like it.
Okay. You guys change the spelling or something.
I played guitar in a James Brown tribute.
Are you serious?
I did.
Did you get fined if you messed up?
Elton was just as shocked as I was when I told him about it. I played two
I could
gigs.
see that. I mean,
It was really cool. It was a lot of fun.
Burn it down and sit right here and watch it. The hands of hell won't slow me down. Grab hold of my spirit and wash it. Sit back and watch me drown. Watch me drown. don't know the secret you're keeping. By the time the morning comes, you'll take to leaving. If I had it my way, you won't be.
Suspected certain loss. Now I know that you were right. So there we are. So far. So I take my chance where I can find it with my. Nobody knows how I feel. I don't talk much about it, so they never. And I get tired of hearing it ain't no big deal. I'm dying inside, and nobody knows how I feel.
I don't do that now that I know better. I have come to learn a better way. And I'm just trying to hold myself together. I'm just trying to get on with the day. We're going up on that mountain. We're gonna reach up to the sky.